Greetings, everyone. Welcome back inside the Hot Tub TI machine here by Beyond the Summit. It is the North American Qualifier Grand Finals right now. A best-of-5 matchup between Freedom and Digital Chaos. I got Grant, Jack, and Lacoste by my side. Couldn't ask for anything better here, gentlemen. We now finally have all 10 players now in the lobby, ready to go. And the coin flip has already went underway. Stan King made the call. Heads! The coin was flipped. Boom!
They should add like 1 in 1,000 that coin ends on the edge.
On side, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree,
like we need to flip again.
And then admin chooses. Bias ad as
No,
admin.
just flip again, that's it.
Anyways, it was heads. Stan King will take first pick.
Yep.
Give me heads. Yeah.
And it is going to be Digital Chaos on Dire side, which has been the case every time. It's always been Dire pick, for at least for today, from what I've seen. So
It's because Freedom, obviously, they got their first pick, which they always love to do because they get that Sand King or something, or IO if it's not banned out. More than likely, I think those two heroes might be banned out, make them first pick something else. And then they also play a lot on Radiant. It enables their Earth Spirit pick if they want, right?
yeah.
Because they always play Earth Spirit on Radiant for Flea, and I really like it. It won't be their first pick.
Yeah, if they don't play Radiant, they will probably play Dire.
Yeah.
What do you
Exactly.
mean, yeah?
What? Yeah. If they don't play Radiant, they'll play Dire. I said, yeah, I agreed with you.
You were too fast on that one.
Yeah, I was. But I knew what you were saying. The key is with Lacoste is he uses anagrams and symbols to try to emasculate me. But he
Yeah.
can't do that because I'm using 3 technical terms at a time to slam dunk on him.
Did you get that? Or hooked
You
on,
need a timeout, bro, or what?
hooked on phonics. It's good for me.
Doesn't even get to me. You're a funny guy, Grant, but not this time.
You're a funny-looking guy, but not this time.
Wow,
Look at this look.
that was a
Is
compliment, I
that
guess.
funny look?
I think it was a compliment at the end of the day.
It was.
If
You're
you were-
well dressed. You're always well dressed, Lacoste.
Yeah, why is that? Why
Well,
don't you just
because I'm
listen-
European, probably.
You're like the Bruno of this group. You're always well dressed and
Well, Bruno was
smile
something else. He had his fancy style. No one can match that.
I bet you
Alright.
feel like you have a reputation now that he probably has to.
Always has to do it.
How do I
yeah.
feel about Radiant versus Dire? I haven't seen any of the numbers from this tournament, but I mean, some teams notably favor Dire. I feel like maybe if you want more out of the jungle, or if you want to stop the enemy jungle a little bit better, I feel like Dire offers certain advantages for that. But as far as
I'll
Roshan
have a
or
talk
mid,
with some of the players when I see them on the next LAN, probably, about the Radiant and the Dire thing to see what they have to say about it.
Yeah, because we discussed it a little bit in the last panel, and there was a lot of interesting ideas about it on how, one side maybe might be a bit like Radiant, for example, invading their jungle seems to be a bit simpler. It's more connected as one big unit, so
Yep.
once you kind of take it, you take the whole thing, whereas Dire is more split apart.
Yeah, and I think that's why DC kind of likes Dire more. I mean, with their Enigma picks and whatnot, you always have to be careful. It's way harder stopping those 2 camps on the side when he wants to go over there. And then Mason, I mean, he's known for just taking stacks, which is far easier to do on the Dire side as well.
Guess what? We have a grand final draft. Game number 1 now underway. First pick advantage again going to be going to the side of Digital Chaos on this one, right?
Yep.
And no surprise to see that DC will be banning out that Wisp. Clockwork's going to get the removal, and now you have those Sand King options and such.
I'm interested. This will be if DC and Freedom want to play the same thing. If DC wants to play in Sand King and then take that Night Stalker, I believe that's what they did in the last series, like every game, but they just banned it out this time. I think that'll be almost every single 3, 4, 5 games will be like that if Freedom has first pick.
I've seen them open Disruptor or Nyx here, but they're going to take the Night Stalker themselves.
Night Stalker and instant charge.
That's
Yep.
that's confidence. That's confidence right there.
That's Flea for sure.
The charge, that's the key. That's one of the keys for them, right?
I hope they keep those chat wheels and that's some new.
It'll be, yeah, for $100 more you can keep it permanently. That's probably a
Yeah.
good trade-off, I think.
Yeah, that's
A lot of people would actually pay
I'm
for
sure
it.
I'll like that idea.
Oh, a lot of people would, yeah.
Hope Valve is listening.
Puck,
I hope not for my sake.
Puck and Dazzle as your 1-2 coming out from DC's side. Obviously, it could be maybe a Forev Puck. I've never seen Forev really play the Puck personally, but for a lot of the other teams, they've used that as a versatility option for the early part of the draft.
Yeah, it seems we've seen Drow and Puck lineups versus DC, but you rarely see DC actually playing that lineup themselves.
Do you think DC will go into a Drow lineup?
I think it's up to if Freedom bans the Drow. Then I think after those 2 bans, if it's not banned,
I don't
well, then
like
obviously
it.
maybe. I don't
If
either.
you have Dazzle and the Drow, I don't think that's strong. That's a really weak lane.
Yeah.
You have 2 squishy heroes,
And
especially
and
yeah, and the first night starts at 4 minutes, and then you have a Night Stalker, and you can't do anything about it. They can just run you over there.
And this is pretty standard. Just your position 4 plus a disruptor, especially like with Night Stalker, the vision plus glimpse. They're setting up to just run at people already. Maybe they won't, but I already like Team Freedom's little bit of a setup here first. A little better than DC's. I just don't like Dazzle as a hero, as a first pick hero.
Look at
That's
the
just me.
CCNC's profile picture. It says I'm a star already.
Mm-hmm.
He's earned it. He is a star.
He is.
They do
Definite.
ban that Drow.
Yeah, I think. It's a playstyle that can just run over you. Even if you play well, if they just play a little better and take all the towers, you're in for trouble. You don't want to all in like that.
What about Lena ban here? They banned out the Ember Spirit, but Lena's still out on the table. Queen of Pain's still out on the table.
Yeah, that Ember ban's really
That's a bit peculiar.
Because a lot of us don't like that hero here, but it's still getting picked up. Like Planet Odd picked it up a ton. Even DC picked it up once.
Yeah, that's why Planet Odd is out.
True.
I'm not a huge fan of the Ember Spirit
We
personally, but yeah.
Yeah, we saw it did win early. Planet Dog did pick it, and that Ember Spirit went crazy.
Planet
so.
Odd had really weird heroes picking. I feel like they were not prepared with something deeper. Maybe they were comfortable going into this.
Yeah.
That they're gonna get it out.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay, well, before that, we saw Complexity just flat out first phase ban the Meepo every game against DC. Freedom at first seemed like they might just we either welcome it, the opportunity, prepare for it, or in this case, they'll just ban it out in the second phase. But DC moved forward with an intriguing pickup here in the Spirit Breaker grab for what looks like Bulba, and I don't think I've seen Bulba play Spirit Breaker much, at least in this qualifier run.
I want Axe to be picked by Team Freedom just to dunk the Dazzle. It's still good.
It seems like a simple thing to say. Like people are like, "Oh, he can go through, but Grave." But it really is a big thing when those Graved heroes like last game were just living with 1 HP. A simple hero like Axe.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
simple
and
things.
I mean, you just need. You can even start in the jungle first 2-3 minutes. Then you just come to the lane, level 3. Okay, they go for something
No,
different.
sorry, not something exciting like an axe. You get a Darkseer.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say is like you show on the lane at let's say 3-minute mark, and you have a Night Stalker rotating in the next minute.
I just want to say that this is definitely the no pupil meta. Okay, all right, I'm done with it now.
No, you're good. Oh man, Darkseer. Wasn't this the one game we saw Freedom lose when they gave Snake King kind of a not do shit hero, such as
They had
Darkseer?
they had the Earth Spirit yesterday as
Yeah.
part of this as well, but
Yeah.
I like the dual lane potential coming out from this. So yeah, he's still not on maybe one of those stunning initiators that we've seen him play so well, but I feel like they can be very active in this lane if it starts off as a duel, depending on whether they need to protect CC&C mid and stuff.
Do you think
like that first.
any part of it was a denied pick, or is that too bold to call? I mean, Darkseer could have fit. Okay, let's say this was a
Darkseer
Mig.
Spirit Breaker is a
Yeah,
nasty lane as well,
it's a
but
pretty nasty setup. But
it feels like 4 heroes. You want to say Darkseer Night Stalker is a good dual lane, but when's the last time you've actually seen a not dual lane middle with the Night Stalker? Every time Night Stalker's picked, he's just going mid,
Yeah.
immediately to start. So
all right, Lifestealer coming out. You have the puck already. Even a Spear Breaker can work as your dirty little vehicle.
yep, and I know I heard talkings around that people were actually looking at the Red draft, and I mean Red was the only team who really beat Freedom. People wanted to see how it really worked actually, because Freedom picked a draft sort of like this, and Spirit Breaker is a hero that can get in and cause chaos. And Freedom doesn't really like getting ran at.
Ooh.
They want to do the running.
Storm Spirit coming out for CC&C.
That's really good.
Wasn't it? Remember yesterday? I think we were all saying we were not a big fan of the Storm Spirit pickup.
Silencer, Night Stalker.
And
I
that
guess
time, yeah, you were against a
yeah.
Silencer and a Night Stalker. This time you only have Puck to really worry about in the lockdown.
Not well, not really. It's again a hard game for Storm. You have a Puck with Nikes in him. You have Spirit Breaker plus Lifestealer against Puck. It's hard to survive for Storm. We'll see. They have a sendback from Disruptor. They have a good division hero, so
And they'll have a mech on Darkseer just
Yeah.
for that little save possibly.
No mana support though that you usually would like to have with your Storm, but,
Yeah, but even if your Storm is like super farmed during the, let's say, 20 minutes, if he has Orchid and Bloodstone, he still can die
Yeah.
from Puck and Lifestealer combo.
Yeah,
Because he doesn't have defensive items.
Yeah, we saw last game, right?
Yeah.
The only mistakes we said they made were kind of CC&C had like those 2 really questionable deaths on Storm, so I think if CC&C just plays safer, he might have a better game than last time even. It's going to be interesting, so it's looking
yeah,
like...
War Hero now.
Yeah, looking like Puck Spirit Breaker versus Night Stalker Storm. Might
Give
start up
me-
middle.
Give me Lycan.
They do like in themselves here.
Yeah,
Like in Darkseer, yeah, that's fun.
Feels like they need a lot of damage out of this pick. Cause it's a little bit concerning on that front. Like they seem to fall off a little bit after the early game in terms of finding damage, and so that's not good against the Dazzle. That's not good against naturally durable and difficult to kill heroes, all of which Digital Chaos have. So
I was thinking Sven, but Troll.
I was thinking yesterday, I don't remember seeing any Troll at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Troll just like... Was there a reason why he just suddenly took his leave from the meta? He wasn't hit much from the Frog, right? If any at all?
I don't
No,
think so.
no, he was
Just-
he was the same. Maybe because Magnus kind of fell off, so that was his best partner.
That's true.
Yeah, it was funny because right when NA ended, I did one more panel with the SEA guys, and in the very first game, Troll was like first or second phase, and I was like, oh, that's one of those heroes, and that's a Timbersaw.
These are some fun, fresh picks for Game 1 of the Grand Final. Timbersaw? I don't even remember the last time I watched a Timbersaw game.
And it gives them someone else beefy, because usually when they run the Lifestealer solo damage kind of physical thing, they just have like 4 kind of magic dealers from the back. This time they actually have a front laner with Lifestealer, which I really like.
yeah,
All right.
forget about that slowing things down. Looks like they want to play even faster. Maybe they went back over that footage, as you said,
I
and looked for
definitely bet
something
they
different.
did. Yeah.
Well, they are surely fast with Spirit Breaker.
And if Lifestealer goes the 5-10 movement speed build we saw in the NA scene, it's going to be interesting.
For Digital Chaos and for the first key to victory that we put down here, enable Mason, is this a lineup feasible of being able to do that, though?
They have Dazzle to heal him, maybe Graveman lane, Spearbreaker to charge his lane.
2 good cars for Mason to get in.
Yeah.
I think this.
We'll give a half check mark.
It
half
depends
check
on the
mark
lane.
probably
It
on
depends
that
on how
one.
the laning goes.
It's a pretty good, you know, if they can follow up these kills, take those objectives like necessary.
Depends Mason's build again. He's the building hitter.
That's kind of. I don't think that's a
don't
that's a
think they
check.
got the
They're
key,
they're
yeah.
not good at taking objectives. It
Not good at
almost
taking
looks like one of those.
objectives. Yeah, Timber's not.
Again, they got you know, a couple SCA players, 2 former MVP guys. There was a point when MVP was like, "We're not going to pick an objective taker at all. We're going to take objectives once your team is dead."
5-man melee,
Five-man
take,
Starts to look a
take
little
lives,
bit
then
like that.
objectives.
Yep.
I still think they could have gone for Lycan. It's good against Nikes, especially with Iron Shell and with Howl. During the first night, they can put so much pressure, and also it gives them so much more survivability when they go with the bomb,
Yep.
with whoever. Just boost the HP on whenever they go.
Yeah,
Alright.
and definitely, I really like, I think just straight out of the drafts, I actually like DC's draft a little better, but Freedom has shown to make way less mechanical errors than DC, so I'm going to give them the 51-49 favoritism here
To Freedom
to
side, I
Freedom,
think.
just because their mechanical errors have been far less than DC's.
I like DC's lineup a lot. I'm giving them the 54-46 over here.
Damn.
54-46.
Wait, does that add up?
Yeah, he's good.
Oh, shit, he's good.
Wow,
this
NA
guy's
math.
good. This
he
guy's
knows math.
good.
He knows good math.
Can't argue with
Uh,
Chinese math and science.
What do you think, Lacoste?
I think Team Freedom got this 61.3% probably.
Don't leave yet. You gotta pause. I'm just kidding. You guys can go if you want. Jack and Grant, it was a pleasure having you on the panel. Of course, thank you for coming by. We look to seeing you after the game. You guys want to come back after and talk
Of
about
course,
everything that went
of
on?
course, we'll
Yeah,
be back.
absolutely. Okay, thanks, Jack. We'll see you next time here. Excuse me. Woo! My monster's kicking back up in my throat here, Lacoste.
Oh, we're drinking the same one. Energy Ultra Red. Never tried this one before. We ran out of the rehab ones, which is the best one, in my opinion.
I don't know. Yeah, rehab is probably better than this for sure. You hear my voice? Oh, goodness. I hope I can make it through this best of 5. It's been a long journey of qualifier coverage right now. Many, many games here
Well,
throughout
your
the
two
days.
favorite white guys taking over.
Yep.
Lacox duo. What was the last time we were alone? China, probably.
China. Star Ladder.
Star Ladder, yeah.
ESM. I mean, we went over briefly a bit of DC, their lineup, what they wanted to achieve. The third key, though, was the one you put up, and it was the 0.7 times, 75 times speed, right?
No, oh, that Jack said that.
Jack said
actually.
speed, but you changed it? You changed it to that.
Yeah, I don't even know what Jack meant by that.
Do they have a slow kind of a lineup? It is Lifestealer who needs time to build up. Timbersaw needs a Bloodstone and some other toys before he can go ham. So
Well, once Puck gets a Blink Dagger, that's the timing when they go. So pretty much it's a kind of a global lineup with Lifestealer infesting Puck, Spirit Breaker charging, and Timbersaw also can charge from far away as well. So once the Bloodstone is on Timber and you have a Lifestealer with just an armlet, probably they can make a move.
what makes this the right game now for a Timbersaw, by the way?
I don't feel that Timbersaw off lane is that good of a hero. I just don't think it scales that good. Against Troll, Disruptor and Night Stalker, they have so much to counter it with.
And what? They all bring what? A lot of lockdown, so they can't
Yeah,
kind
you
of go
have
freely.
a sandbag from Disruptor. You have
Yeah.
a good harassing with Thunderstrike and Void, especially when the first night falls.
Definitely feels like a little bit of a suspect pick right here. We are starting off with a pause, unfortunately. Looks like there is a mic issue on the Digital Chaos side of things, so that is what it is. You know, what can you do?
Oh, was that Italian accent?
That was kind of an Italian accent. I tried. Yeah, I don't know. I've been hyping up this match a lot. I don't know what else to say about it, man. What do you want to talk
Yeah,
about?
that's why you had to go to the toilet, right? That happens to me when I'm too hyped.
Yeah, I was a little too hyped for this. I guess we didn't go over Freedom's key points there. Like my socks, by the way.
Oh, is that Barry?
No,
Well,
the
it more
pugs.
looks like a
Little
Slacks
pugs.
dog,
Yeah,
right?
it is. Little pugs. Oh snap! We got a game. Let's get into it now. Production. Let's go, folks. It's grand final time. Enough with the pug socks. It's time for some kick-ass Dota action here, and already we get underway. Early movement from supports to get these wards down, and it's going to be spotted out. Bulbman knows something's fishy. He'll see Stand King. He'll see that Stand King does not have an obs ward, and he might just figure that one may have been planted. It wasn't that long ago, Lacoste, that this was just really never a part of the game of Dota. People didn't used to TP out
well,
early to get wards
Yeah,
down,
because
did they?
TP cost was 75 gold. Now it's less, so I guess that's why people are TPing. And Dota was not on that high level, and you did not get the gold from killing the wards before.
That's true.
That's why. Yeah,
That's true.
there was no point. Now you use a sentry, you get the gold back, so it's all good, and the XP.
As a support player, I love those kind of changes, that's for sure. So for Forev, which is going to be the off-lane matchup to kind of keep a bit of an eye on here, he goes in with the early Poor Man's Shield. He's got some tangos to work with, so he's going to be expected to be taking quite a bit of harassment through the laning phase.
What is the best morale boost you had when you were playing a pub? I'll tell you mine.
Okay.
Should I go first?
No, please, because I
You
don't
need
know.
to think of.
I'll
your-
have to think of mine
So
for
we're
sure.
defending a base, losing a game pretty much, and the guy changes his voice to Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of a voice and
Oh.
says like, "This is where we fight. This is where they die." And we actually lost the game. But
But
the
that
point
was,
is, yeah,
your morale was boosted.
yeah, we were boosted for the next 30 seconds until we lost.
I think the chat wheel stuff is, for some of these teams, a way to morale boost. We'll see Flea probably use it a lot, even when something doesn't go right. He'll just say, like, I can't remember what it is, like something like, don't worry about it, and then they'll do the charge. Shake it off and go. Top lane, Snake King on his Darkseer. The last time we saw him on the Darkseer, you were mentioning how it was because of the nice pair up with the Earth Spirit, but his offlane performance was a bit of a struggle. And already he's going to get stalked by Bulba quite a bit, but yeah, no camp to work with there on the side. This is going to be a bit of an awkward start for him until he can get to that coasting level 2 point. What's happening down here? We
Yeah,
got
well, top lane is
what?
they can't really stop Snaking from farming. They have a Spirit Breaker charge just to cancel the Clarity Potion.
Yeah, but this has got to be a bit of a pain in the ass for Mason here, being that melee core and dealing with these ion shells. He'll be grinded down pretty low, but...
Yeah, that's why he went for that build. 8 tangos and the healing salve, it's gonna be more than enough.
In our mid lane matchup here, we got CCNC on the Storm Spirit going against 10K Abed. 9K versus 10K here. Storm Spirit versus Puck. Puck at 10 and 2. CCNC at 9 and 0. This one seems to be neck and neck for now, but as the game pans out and as the levels come online, who do you end up getting on this one? I mean, is it not the Storm Spirit favored until he gets to his level 6?
No, it's still fine. With the first Knight, the Night Stalker can change much on that mid lane.
That's good. He moves in and gets the opponent's bounty rune. Oh, I missed the first blood there. It's actually going to be in the bottom lane where they're going to get a hold of Forev on that Timber Saw and take him down. Looks like a setup with assistance from Stan King and his kinetic field will help seal the deal.
Well, Dubu was trying to stack something. I don't think he managed to actually stack. No, nothing stacked.
He stepped away from the lane, and they probably recognized it with that ward they have down. Meanwhile, it's going to be Flea with a haste rune suddenly, flying his way through.
Mid lane.
Oh, a deep dive in from Bulba to go on CCNC. CCNC is able to make it away, it looks like, but hard commitment in once they recognize that Flea's through this bottom lane.
Oh, snaking is just creep skipping the wave top. Getting a lot of XP and pressuring the tower for Mason.
Yeah, he knows that Bulba is not at that top lane anymore. In fact, he's about to make his appearance in the mid lane here, charging in onto CCNC. Abed moves on forward with the orb and some right clicks. He has no more health regen until he's able to kind of ferry himself out the bottle, it looks like. So they're keeping the pressure live here. And even though they did bring Yawar down earlier, he's still winning the CS game at the moment, 20 and 4, and he just continues to lay it in onto Forev right now.
Yawar got the first blood with the Orb of Venom. He can out-harass Forev right now, but once he gets to the level 3, I don't think he can do it anymore. Especially with Dazzle sitting behind him.
They have Stan King and Flea down here still. It looked like Stan King was giving Flea the jungle camp to kind of get some solo XP with because, you know, you want to get him as much XP as possible before this 4-minute mark. He's going to be about level 2, it looks like. Well, we'll have a bounty rune too, but before this Nightfall comes in.
Oh, he wish he was level 3 to get to 1 point in Crippling Fear against
so
Puck.
close. So close, but not going to quite be there. He actually is...
he's going to get the bounty rune on bottom as well, and then he's going to go. Okay. I hope he gets a silence against Puck.
Gets that 3 and begins to head his way towards the mid lane. Yet to invest the point here. Maybe waiting to see if that setup is even possible or not. Now there's an opportunity. Still not with the point yet. This has to be like on the radar for DC. Okay, he goes in for it now. Quickly hits it, tries to go for the silence, but then that's when Bulba pops out from the dark, charges on in, and puts his focus fully onto CCNC, and he alone will be able to thwart off the pressure from that mid lane. As that happens, though, Rev feels more confident kind of diving in through this bottom lane, pressuring through Stan King and Yawar.
Snaking is having time of his life on top lane, 26 CS.
Mid lane, they committed the coil onto CCNC. They snaps the coil, walking back under the tower, but there's going to be no kill for it.
They're going to use the shrine and come back. Same goes for DC's heroes.
That's got to feel pretty good if you're Team Freedom there. I'd imagine when you're committing a coil like that, you're banking on getting the kill. They will also have to tag back and hit the shrine too. But a good opening opportunity for Forev to kind of be able to work through the lane here until Flea makes a new impact in the laning phase.
I love the build on Storm Spirit. He went 1 Electric Vortex, so he can pull him for the extra few hits. Especially if Night Stalker rotates. But Night Stalker is on bottom.
Yes, he is. He's got an Ion Shell. Stan King already set up with a Thunder Strike. He could glimpse back if necessary, and there it is. Pulling him away from the Dazzle, who is able to get the Grave off, but he's starting to run away from his friends, and then he will be quickly dealt with. Yawar is able to pick up that kill.
He should have TP'd immediately. He had 1 ready. After he graved him, there was nothing to stop the TP. Glimpse was already used. A lot at stake this game, so I guess People make more mistakes than usual.
Absolutely. I think we've been seeing a lot of that trickling throughout the qualifier, but you can't really blame the players. I mean, when you think about it, and I've already said it quite a few times, so I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but I mean, this game alone secures you at least last place, obviously, at TI, which is $100,000 or whatever with how ridiculous this prize pool is getting.
Yeah, but you're not going into TI to secure yourself a last place.
No, of course not. But like that's just already that first big jump in. You've made it. You're in. Your face is going to be on the compendium. People might be wearing your team's jerseys. It's crazy, you know? You just make a big leap of going from qualifier status into being potentially playing at the arena itself. Mid lane rotations now. Flea is back, and it's got 1 more minute of darkness to work with here, so we'll have to see if he's going to make any sort of opening happen. Even though they're still making kills work out here through the bottom lane, I'm sure he would like to make an impression onto that puck if possible.
Yeah, he should rotate on the bottom. There's not much kill potential anymore on mid.
Boba's already charging into the bottom lane, looking to make a move onto Yawar. He
17%.
dishes out the Hawks, and yeah, he does get the one little cute bump there, but that will be the end of it. Flea also waiting nearby, and it looks like this will be the remainder of his nighttime period. Another rotation also coming out, but looks like no kill opportunity there.
I like how Yawar doesn't TP back to the base. He TPs to tier 3 tower, just uses the shrine, comes back. At least some time is saved.
That's pretty efficient.
And the knight is gone in, what, 5 seconds.
Do you think that would be a successful night for your Night Stalker? They got that set up on the bottom lane, they got Yawar kill, but do you think you would like to see a bit more?
Yeah, being into only 1 kill is, I don't know. It can go better, I guess. But they're still satisfied. They didn't feed any kills. He's level 4.5. 8 minutes in. It's a good thing. He has boots, wand, fused raindrop. He will upgrade it to earn. It's all good.
Bottom lane, pressure coming in onto Forev, who's ducking out behind this tower, now trying to timber chain back and away towards the side of Dubu. Looks like he'll be good. Starting to tank up a bit so he can feel more comfortable making those kind of moves. And before that, we saw an attempt made onto Snake King here. Abed was almost able to catch him off at that bounty rune and take him down, but good game sense there from Snake King. And a good ward also, I imagine, was able to kind of catch out that interaction. We have CCNC now on his Storm Spirit about level 7.5, so kill participation by him is probably going to be coming here in the near future. He has that TP ready to go, just in case something is to break out. He may be able to rotate over, and it looks like something may break out here, Lacoste. We have a smoke coming in from DC towards the bottom lane. Stan King has spotted it out, and it looks like he'll be the one to tank the gank. He has sent Bulba all the way back, but Abed will be able to jump on forward and get the finish.
Abed is 2 levels above Storm Spirit, now 1.5. There's another charge coming.
Mid lane, it's onto CCNC here. Abed's there. He actually has the coil. He's waiting
he's
to
baiting
see.
him.
He's baiting him real good. Drop the coil now. Oh, the bump's going to connect. Can he get close enough? Does he want to commit anything else? No.
Well, he doesn't want to use a coil. He can just zip out. He will still get stunned.
That's true. That's true. And he's hoping to get close enough for a rift. Even then, it's hard to say.
Well, at least Forev is doing good on the bottom lane. Even though he's 2-0, they need to have Disruptor level 6 to actually kill him right now, or have Night Stalker during the night.
Dubu will be able to snag up that haste rune right in the face of Flea and be able to head back bottom to the side of Forev. He's been totally delegated to this bottom lane by the side of Forev. I don't think we've seen Dubu really do too much else. Where we saw more success, you know, in the last series where we saw him be a bit more proactive and moving around. Do you just think that is not necessary this game, that his position should be here where it is in the bottom lane?
Yeah, Nyx is not threatened at top until Disruptor is level 6 or it's nighttime, so the silence lasts longer on Night Stalker. He's just there, saving 1 point if it's needed for Poison Touch. He should not get it anymore. Yeah, that's why he got the Shower Grave.
Charge in from Bulba. Quick send back from Stan King, but Forev is already committed into the action. Snake King will be able to surge himself out and around and avoid the trouble. Stan King, that defensive support, continues to hide within those trees and be there at the moment in need.
The problem for Team Freedom right now is that they have two heroes jungling, which is natural, especially if you're pressured in the lane. You have Troll and Storm Spirit, who usually go to jungle.
Yeah, they are leaving the supports to kind of farm the lanes, but these supports are obviously got to be super careful because the opponents they're laning against are very, very strong right now. It looks like CCNC has put himself back in the lane, though, up here at the top. You know, still 0-0 and 0, but that is about to change, it looks like. Bottom lane, Forev has made his move in, and they counter it already with a Static Storm, and once CCNC shows up, they make quick work of the Timber Saw.
Oh, they have a pool with a Storm.
Yep. And Dubu tried to TP away, but whether he was banking on the pull or not for CCNC, he has it leveled up and ready to go.
Yeah, this is the rotation I was talking about. They just need to make a move on the bottom lane once the Static Storm is up. Also nice TP from CCNC. Meanwhile, on top lane, what is going on? It's a free lane. Mason having time of his life, pretty much.
Got that
Midas almost has Armlet. The problem is that the supports on DC's side, you have Spirit Breaker, who is level 4, has a Tome ready, so almost level 5. Dazzle with brown boots, level 4. These two heroes don't synergize well together and don't scale well. I mean, it's still a Spirit Breaker. With a Spirit Breaker, you want to dominate that early 10 minutes of the game, and that did not happen.
Now another move under Forev. They just took him down. Can they do it a second time? He tries to Timber Chain back and away, but the power is just too strong from Freedom. This three-man gank squad is just going full force, and this nighttime is just proven to be very bloody.
There it is, first vehicle attempt.
It's the Boba Bomb coming in, charging on forward, looking to go for Yawar, and it's going to be successful. They cancel out his TP, they pop out Mason. They're still trying to get a hold of him. Mason is able to charge on forward and get the finish there. CCNC trying to dance around with Bulba a bit, but now has to walk on back. Mason's making chase. Oh my god, can they finish him? Oh, it looks like they will be able to make it away. But look at this. Abed's made his move from behind. Gets a good catch onto Flea with the coil and should be able to get the finish. Bulba also in a bit of trouble, but look at that. The Grave is able to come out. Stand King wants to fight it forward and will be able to get off the Thunder Strike that will ultimately get the takedown to Bulba. But Bulba died second. He gets some XP for it. I guess the good thing going for Freedom is that Snaking was farming through the top lane and pushing the tier 1.
Yeah, well, this is exactly what DC needed to make a move with Nyx, who is super farmed. And right now Spirit Breaker got his level 6, so Storm should be more careful. The next move Team Freedom should try to make is once Darkseer gets his mech up. Okay, it's already up. Good timing. They should pressure the top tower. It's pretty low.
Looks like they are doing exactly that. Flea takes to the skies up over the trees, moves right in, hits the silence, and Forev going to be going down for a 5th time on his Timber Saw. For a snowbally kind of a hero, he is just not, can't get the snow. It is tough. Everywhere he goes, they just instantly strike.
Okay, but this puck is also super farmed. Nyx Armlet almost finished. I don't think anyone can survive the bomb from Veil, Puck, and Nyx in it.
Look at this move, though. As they try to charge in onto Yawar, there is an approach coming in from behind from the Freedom front. And look at this, a move right onto Abed, a vacuum pullback, but it's just off the mark. They still will be able to get the finish onto Abed. The follow-up kill's there, and they're still successful, taking down the 3.
Whoa.
That was close to being a potential disaster. The synergy was there, and they still make it work.
Wow. He pulled them out of the Disruptor ulti. Also, they planted the 2 wards, probably one from Dazzle, one from Spirit Breaker, so they can have a clear vision. If Stanking heard that, these 2 wards will get rewarded. It's a lot of XP and gold, plus they're
He's got sentries queued up. He just didn't have the money to buy any.
Yeah,
so I think he does know that, and he'll get some free
That's gonna
gold his way.
really send back DC a lot, because they will not be able to place any orbs for the next couple of minutes, and this is when they should be active.
Yeah, because it's going to be daytime too. That's a bad timing window for DC. And look at this. Team Freedom trying to scrape together one possible last pickoff with the remaining moments of this nighttime, but it looks like Mason has the sense and is pulled totally out of this top lane, and then will join the side of Bulba and probably farming through the jungle and avoiding a bit of the trouble. Or maybe making a bomb play. There we go. Smoke. Get in the backpack of a bed and let's see what we can set up.
Oh,
Ooh.
this sentry ward on mid doesn't reach the other board, so it's good for DC.
Uh-oh. Blink right in. There goes the Veil. There goes the bomb. Yawar tries to man up with the ult, but like you were talking about, there's really no chance of survival when you kind of got that Veil and all that power.
He might consider going for a Manta style this game instead, just to remove the silence, remove the open wounds from Nightstalk, from Lifestealer.
Ooh, move in. Stand King tries to slow them down by dropping
Whoa!
the Static Storm, but they get the vacuum pullback coming out from Snake King. Oh man, Freedom. Punch DC right in the face.
Whoa, I'm getting chills from all these combos Team Freedom is pulling off.
Dang, Snake King just faintly misses the mark on the first one, but gets a huge connection there. And
Knights
Mason
has no mana.
running out and trying to make it away from that battle, has been spotted and being chased down from Flea with the Ion Shell. And as you mentioned, mana not there for Mason, so he has really nowhere to run. Maybe turn
in the balls.
go to the Golem or something. Can't find anywhere.
Ooh. What a play there. Was that 5-man vacuum or 4-man?
I think it was 4-man. That was crazy, though. They TP'd down there fast. It might have been just a bit too much to make that commitment onto Snake King.
They made a mistake at the start, so they don't make any in the future. I love their tactics.
So has Freedom made a mistake yet, or they have yet to make one?
No,
and
they
could make one
made it.
later?
They used the vacuum.
Oh, I
to
see what you
pull
mean.
them out of
okay.
the combo.
That was the warm-up
first
back.
time. Yeah, that is
warm-up.
trying it out how things work. There's a full Bloodstone ready on the Storm Spirit. So once they take a fight, probably when the next wall is up and the next Static Storm, it's well, they're ready. They can actually smoke and try to make a play. Just they need to push the lanes, and they have a good Roche lineup with Troll and Vladimir's offering.
Should they wait till nighttime at least, or go sooner than that?
Darkness is not ready yet, so maybe they should.
Okay, CCNC committing in hard, looking to go for Forev, but can't get it done quite fast enough, and might have already spotted out some rotations coming his way. Bulba's already charging in. And I don't know, actually, CCNC doesn't seem to know what's going on, but now as Forev shows himself, he makes a harder dive back, and you can see the Freedom TPs begin to come in. DC, no overcommitments this time.
Yeah, this is why I don't like the Timbersaw pick. You have a hero who did nothing in the lane except feeding, pretty much. You can see by the score, if someone has 0x0, that hero is doing nothing.
Yeah, you're kind of just hoping that he gets that magic item now or something, or gets to that certain level that just turns on Timbersaw and makes him a hero in the game. But you know that potential's not quite there, and he's going more versatility pickup as he tries to finish out the pipe, which it will help. Some of the magical burst fire coming out from CCNC, and of course the Static Storm, Stand King and stuff. But yeah, that's not the vicious core Timbersaw that we come to know.
I'm also surprised the Nightstalker didn't finish the urn from his raindrop. It's so good against the Dazzle and the Grave. You just once he uses a Grave, you just use it, and he pretty much dies if he doesn't have any sticks or heal coming up.
What has he been opting for instead here? He's just going straight Midas, and already got the drums. Yeah, the drums.
Yeah, he got drums. Wants to go for Midas. Good item here would be a Solar Crest to survive the Nikes and the Puck combo. That's one of the options, but he tanked up with drums.
And maybe they just got so many good kills early, and he had like all this money, and it's like, oh, I can get a drums right now and have drums early and be ready for fights.
Snake King sitting on a pipe and mech 1k gold away from Guardian Greaves. Jesus Christ.
He's stacked out of his mind. Pretty much had all that top lane to work with, and then made two big team fight participations. Oh, they spotted Bulba. That'll be an easy kill. That'll be an easy Bloodstone charge for CCNC. Dubu nearby is like, I will not have any part of this. Quickly TP's out. And Mason, who is nearby in the jungle, might have to make an exit here because Freedom are sweeping through. Stand King's already dropping down wards. They've taken high ground positioning here as they make a long approach all the way over and into the mid lane where Snake King is currently standing, and they make a hard shot for Mason. Mason, though, is hit with the Grave, tries to go for a TP, but the Glimpse is going to be there. Now Mason, furious about it, tries to take it out of Stand King. He is able to take down Stand King, man. Mason hits hard, hides in the catapult, but the catapult gets taken down from the tower, and he's still alive and well. Forev's able to jump back by his side, and Freedom are stuck on the back end side, trying to fight under their own wall. Mason, alive.
They should time their spells correctly. Night Stalker could fly over, and because he has a good vision, and he needs to silence the Dazzle. They already committed Disruptor ulti on Nike, so there's no need. A little bit of misplay there, which costed them just to waste a lot of times and spells. But also good armlet toggle by Lifestealer.
Man, he got so angry at Stand King that he even tried to make that fight happen. He just turned around and beat him down in 3 punches.
He went for Echo Saber build. That's not usually what you see on Nikes, especially when you don't have a hero like Magnus or let's say Invoker. So you put Alacrity on him, so you have that double hit with a cleave.
Yeah.
Maybe just more burst damage. Deso into AC, I guess. A Basher if they want to lock down for a Storm.
They found Flea. Flea was moving in, trying to get a hold of that Invis rune. Snake King shows up. They're all spread in. He wants to chop at him a bit with his Ion Shell, but they're moving in hard. He helps out with the pipe. Now the move's there from CCNC, coming in from behind, and with the vacuum, they quickly take out Bulba. Oh, Static Storm going to be dropped, but it doesn't find anyone to lock inside. Forev now wants to get into the fight, moving in, trying to slash apart Snake King here. They need a bit more, and they will get it. Abed from the back end side moves in and pops out all of the damage to be able to clean things up.
Lifestealer is so tanky, 2k HP. He would have went for damage on the talent tree. He feels like he's tanky enough.
Boy, oh boy.
This troll needs to get back into the game somehow. He's sitting on 9k net worth, but still I don't feel like he's doing that much.
Yeah, he died a couple of times, but outside of farming, no. I don't think he was there to participate in the kills. He's there to participate globally with his ult, but yeah, it really hasn't been on the positive end of a lot of the action for Freedom for what has been going positively for them. CCNC, looks like they're pinging right on Forev's positioning here. Flea's trying to rush his way that direction, but CCNC has found a juicier target in Dubu. Moves right in, pulls him back, and Flea will tag him up with a silence just to be safe.
With Yule Scepter finished on Puck, he can remove the silence from Night Stalker, he can survive longer in the Static Storm. Puck is so hard to kill right now. Okay, no, good that Night Stalker switched to that build I was talking about.
Yeah.
Go get that Solar Crest against the bomb.
Yeah, that's a good call. And no surprise, Stand King, that hard position, 5 position 6 almost.
Jesus Christ, this Nyx is also so
the
farmed.
wards and stuff. Yeah, he's got like Deso done nearly. It's just
Yeah,
it
it
is
is done.
Deso. Woo. Yeah, Mason is huge. I don't know how much kiting power Freedom have. Of course, CCNC has a lot, but for the others, they have to kind of be in the midst of the action and in the scary path of this Mason Lifestealer. And all of that could be set up, of course, by Abed. Plus, you have Forev, though Forev personally has been able to make a huge mark in the game. He can still cause chaos in fights, and Team Freedom could have to just deal with them and allow Mason to really just do his own thing.
Team Freedom doesn't want to take a fight before the Orchid is finished, especially for that Nyx, and they have a lot of silences. One for they need to control the Dazzle in a fight. One of the silences either from Night Stalker or an Orchid, or just pull him so he can't get the Grave off, and he's such an easy target.
Here we go. Abed bomb.
Everyone has their items up. Both teams, they want to fight now. Guardian Greaves, Orchid. On the Team Freedom side, there's Deso, and you have, what else was finished?
For Freedom side?
Yeah. Yeah, you have a Purge,
Diffusal.
Diffusal on Troll.
Yeah. Here's Freedom. They've smoked. They're heading right across their ancient camp. DC are up and over on the opposite side, thinking about their move inside the Roche pit, that they're not there. Freedom are going
Oh, they're
all the
wrapping
way up
around.
and wrap. DC now show themselves in the lane.
Did both
It's a
teams
Radiant
just use
scan.
a scan?
Radiant scan. Oh, they've spotted out.
Now they can
Dazzle.
take a fight.
Yeah, they want to run in. Now there's no shallow grave. There's no Dazzle to worry about. They want to see what they can get a hold of here, and they spotted out Forev and Mason and Bulba all caught into the Static Storm, but they're able to man-fight it forward and take out CC&C super fast. Mason trying to survive. He hides within the Infest, pops it back out, and is now able to shred apart Freedom. Snake King, wounded and weak, trying to run back it away. CC&C could be back in about 4 seconds' time, but this fight seems to be already over and in the favor of Digital Chaos.
If only Storm didn't die there, he's the only one that should not be focused in a fight because he doesn't have a defensive item still. And the only thing they have to lock him down was that Puck silence, and the Nikes just right-clicked him. A few clicks. That's pretty much it.
He died so fast. And now with that, DC are going to be rewarded with their own +1 objective moving in for the Roche Pit. And with the help of that medallion, how hard Mason hits, shouldn't take that long at all. And Freedom, though they may be kind of in the neighborhood, they are not going to look to go for any sort of player defense.
That was fight 4 versus 5. And they still managed to lose it. Storm needs a defensive item. He doesn't want to commit to Yule Scepter. Might not be bad against Nikes and Spirit Breaker, plus to remove the silence from Puck. But what he's thinking, maybe even a BKB, not a bad idea. Plate Mail will give him some physical damage resistance against the bomb from Nikes and Puck. But still they don't have a save hero on Team Freedom's side.
Yeah, once someone gets kind of focused, there's not much to be able to bail them out. Here comes Freedom, though, crawling their way through the bottom lane. They find an opportunity to make a quick jump play and take out the Dazzle. Free charge going to be earned for CC&C, but Bulba sets up an opportunity for a counterplay, charging into action. Now CNC is going to be left with very little to no mana to work with. They pop the pipe, Snake King, Flea and company all try to go for a run, but Abed's on the chase. They're going to be forcing out a Static Storm to try to zone them and keep them off. And it looks like it might be just enough to allow Freedom to escape, but these ults committed defensively to make it out is certainly not the best feeling for Freedom. That was all just for a Dazzle pickoff on the bottom.
Yeah, once again, I don't know if Dubu is doing that purposely, or they can still take a fight, they commit, waste a lot of mana, especially on Storm, and he's a low level, so he get back into the game pretty much in 20 seconds, 25 seconds, and they still have a tier 1 tower on bottom, so maybe that's what they wanted to do, so he can just TP on the bottom and they reset the fight with him. Or you can say that he just fed a kill, that's it.
A lot of people were saying like Pi and how he feeds and stuff like that is very similar to that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see the like a good side of it.
Yeah, then there is like some of these supports, if they're just so underfarmed and so malnourished, they'll come back into the game so fast that it might end up working them better by baiting out an early feed like that one. Here comes Digital Chaos sieging into the high ground, the first high ground push of this grand final, trying to take it into the Freedom, but Freedom already tag up their first shrine. A hit onto Mason. They glimpse him back inside, and now he wants to man-fight a bit. There's going to be the coil committed plus the troll ulti. They're trying to hide within the coil, but then frantically move about, and finally they put their focus all onto Yawar, and they're going to be able to bring him down. He does have a buyback, but otherwise he's going to be out for 50 seconds. CC&C dances in and out a bit, but already low on the mana. Mason's going to be happy to move right back in and go to work onto this tier 3. He still even holds his Aegis. Now they put their focus onto CC&C. They hit him with the silence, and he's going to be forced to deny. But he has no buyback, so he's out for 30. Yawar's back in action right now, but it's just looking disastrous for Freedom. This was looking all DC all day, moving in, forcing Flea back inside their fountain. It looks like they found an opportunity to make a move onto Bulba and take him out of the fight, but Mason is still working with the objective at hand. 2 more attacks should be able to take out the Rax. The first one, Forev will pay the price for it. He gets off the deny at the end too. Very nice.
This is the best way to, let's call it slow siege, especially when your Nikes is that farm and you have Aegis, especially like with Echo Saber. So you just go right click a few times, use Rage once it's lasts, I don't know, 6 seconds. When it's on 3 seconds left, you just go back, repeat it. So Team Freedom needs to take a fight there, or you're just gonna lose the Rax.
Now Freedom back, able to get themselves back out from the base once again. Or CCNC now down to 8 charges and a cooldown Bloodstone. But it is nighttime. They can go for one last little bit of action as he jumps off for the mid lane. Abed is able to get off the shift. Can they finish him off? No, the Grave comes off. They can't get to the Dazzle and silence him. All focused onto that puck. And now comes out another counterfight opportunity going for DC. They send Abed back it away. They get the coil onto Snaking. He goes for the TP and he will be able to make it out, but the focus down the mid lane is going to be on Stan King, and he will not be as fortunate. He goes down. Abed picks up that one, securing a killing spree for himself, and now possibly the tier 2 tower.
Storm just wants to keep the creeps so they don't have anything for the push, clear the wave. Already a charge committed.
TP jump. Okay, he's gone.
Still Aegis on Lifestealer.
Yep, jump in. There's that Lifestealer. Hard shots onto Yawar. He gets silenced, but he's able to go back and tag the Shrine. Now he wants to go back in and fight it out, but they are not quite getting their targets. They're waiting. They drop the vacuum and the wall, but DC make it back outside. Oh, that is a hard spell to commit now for your defense. DC just straight up walk back and away, satisfied with their winnings. And because they took down that tier 3, this means that they can now get more money secured by finishing the shrines.
There is not a single kiting item on the side of Team Freedom yet. You need to have one against Nikes. I see Darkseer has one queued up. 4 staff, but he doesn't want to buy it. He wants to save the buyback if they focus him. But they needed it, this fight and the previous one, just to remove the focus from the Storm, force him out of the fight.
Oh, mid lane, they have that coil set up onto Snake King. He does get the help with the glimpse send back, and Boba wants to charge in. But it looks like Snake King's going to be fine. Shrugs off the gank, thanks to his team, and makes it back mid. I mean, you do make a good point. A lot of these mobility items would be very useful to try to kite away Mason, but we got to give credit to Abed. He's been laying down some sick coils and allowing Mason to be right inside the fight. Difficult for Freedom to even step away, but it is going to be something to deal with here. Mason now has a double damage rune as he ascends into the mid lane. Oh my god, look at the damage on this tower.
Yeah, that's AC Deso.
Jump in from CCNC. This is a straight up jump. He's not looking to TP back to the fountain and puts all of his focus onto Mason. Mason is going to get hit with the Grave. They have the Static Storm, the pullback vacuum, the kinetic field, all to hold him inside. But can they even get down that Aegis? No! They turn back onto CCNC and they will be able to finish him off. He's forced to buy back as this is the final hurrah for Freedom for game number 1. DC could back out now, make the safe play, and really have a leverage in this game, but it seems like that might be the play. Freedom are in desperation mode at this point. After repositioning, it looks like they're not going to be able to get anything from this. And they straight up throw in the towel. Game number 1 of this grand final is going to belong to Digital Chaos.
Wow. They had so much lead that they blew it all away. They try to focus the targets, both Nikes and Puck a few times, but no one was focusing the Dazzle, not one silence. You need to, especially in this scenario right now that happened, you need to have Night Stalker flying over the cliff, just silencing the Dazzle. Because even if you focus him, he got the Grave off, you're standing there in 5 seconds, he's dealing so much damage. Also, not one defensive item on a Storm Spirit. You can actually feel that Orchid did not do much, so either Yule Scepter or a BKB. With a BKB, you don't want to commit to that early BKB, but maybe Yule Scepter would be been a better choice.
We come back now. We welcome back our expert analysts here, Grant and Jack, to the couch. Gentlemen, game 1 belongs to Digital Chaos here. We can look back, of course, at the keys of victory here to see if how many of these keys were actually followed. It looks pretty good. Mason was enabled. It felt like his Lifestealer was able to get in the fights and do a lot of work thanks to Abed. Objectives were taken after fights. They got a lot of +1s, whether it be Roche or moving in for tier 1s and 2s. I don't know about the speed, though.
I think they were opposite of that. They turned up to like 1.5, but Jack, I'm going to let you explain why they won, because I agree completely with you when you told me outside.
Well, first with the speed, not so much speed, but more of like under control or like in control of the pace instead of whether it's fast or slow. But I think the key to this game, we mentioned it a little bit during the draft, is the damage output for this DC lineup, rather for this Freedom lineup. They have this like they can bully things in lane and do well early on, but ultimately it's basically a single core troll. You have the Storm Spirit. You saw him repeatedly blow up Dubu with the silence, but later on, like even when DC were standing in their full combos, they didn't have enough damage to finish them off. Like the damage was just a little bit too like it falls off. You have the Ion Shell damage, which isn't really reliable after a while. You have the Night Stalker, who doesn't do much damage. Same with the Disruptor. So it became too much utility and not enough damage. I think Grant suggested something like a Sven. That's something that does very well into those combos. Can quickly chunk or finish off multiple heroes, and obviously has the AoE too.
I mean, imagine with those vacuum combos if it was a Sven, just kind of boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Yeah, I think
Even if it was a Lycan, they would still have a right-click damage on all of their heroes, which I mentioned. There's not much synergy between Troll ulti. Storm does some right-click damage, but the rest not much. Okay, Night Stalker does, but it's not that significant.
I like the Timbersaw pick too because he's fine with tanking damage from the troll. Obviously, builds up his armor stacks. I like the itemization. I think the pipe was also a crucial part of that because it nullifies so much of the magic burst that Freedom were counting on. And then you could see very noticeably there's just a dip in their ability to finish fights, even when they hit their full combos, which they did a great job of, including that fight behind the tier 2 where Spirit Breaker charged in and ended up being like a 4-man like static storm wall. Great play by Stan King there, unleashing the combo. But at some point they just couldn't finish fights, even when they picked off Dubu, which seemed to be a persistent occurrence.
I'm having flashbacks. They pretty much lost the game there on when they tried to go for mid tier 1 tower, when they tried to focus the Nikes and couldn't make it.
Yep.
Then they lost the Roche as well. That's where everything went wrong because they just needed to focus, throwing too much spells on Mason, stacking those silences instead of saving one for Dubu. Also one more save item on Storm Spirit. Probably if you want to fight that early, have advantage. I still think Yule Scepter is good.
I think that fight top was really crucial too when you saw like the two teams had smoked. And then DC wanted to chase because they managed to get a pick off on Dubu, right? So CCNC was leading the charge, and the crucial point there is kind of who gets the first strike off. Yeah, if he's leading the charge, he has to already see somebody and be ready to jump on them. If he gets the silence off on Dubu, instead of Dubu getting the silence, I'm sorry, not Dubu, on Abed, instead of Abed getting the silence off on him, that's a totally different fight.
Yeah.
But if they're in the chase mode, he should not be leading the charge like that. He's giving them vision of where he is and allowing them to pick their spot. And it was great play there by Freedom.
And that happened. Me and Grant were watching the game casting when he played the Storm Spirit. He pretty much made the same mistakes when he's so far ahead. Then he just blew up all of his gold.
Yeah, it felt like, honestly, early game, like Freedom outplayed him. And I think that's where the whole adapt for Team Freedom comes because, I mean, they just need to change that. I feel like if that last pick was anything different, it would have been great. And I still, I mean, the Dark Seer is great. Snake King played amazing. I still just don't like him on that hero. I like him on a more aggressive, more playmaking, less like reactive hero and more on the aggressive hero. Even like a Nature's Prophet, he can TP around. Something like a Legion Commander can do stuff. I really do think they outplayed DC in like the first 15 minutes with those big ults, but they got outpicked. I mean, outpicked.
You're talking about objectives. The 4F Dubu feeding, that was, I guess, you know, they died a bunch in that bottom lane.
Dubu actually did, It's interesting.
For Freedom early on.
Yeah.
I was trying to find the deeper meaning of it, but couldn't.
All right, guys, we should probably cut to a break so we can refresh ourselves a little bit and prepare for more Grand Final action. We'll see everyone soon for more of the Hot Tub TI Machine North American Grand Finals in just a bit.
What is the password? I like Dota.